Hey guys, my name is Shy, and before I start this rant, I wanted to talk about something. I have social anxiety, so it's kind of hard to do this kind of thing for me, but you can't really get better with anything unless you push yourself a bit, right? Today I'm going to ramble about being triggered and a little bit about society. So let's start off with this. What is being triggered? Being triggered is an emotional/psychological reaction caused by seeing or experiencing something that somehow relates to an upsetting event or time in someone's life. This reaction is often found to happen in war veterans, people suffering with PTSD, depression, and other mental disorders. It's technically a valid term that has been severely abused by a lot of people, hence why I don't really have a problem when people use this word, unlike some others who associate it with SJWs and other kinds of mouth breathing grease whales. I hide it when I'm triggered, so I can be rational, so I can be mature, so that I can push through a situation to actually help someone, so that the situation doesn't become about me and my feelings when I know that it really shouldn't be. Maybe that's a fault, maybe I should consider my own feelings or something, but at the same time, I don't really think that I should. I don't always succeed at hiding it, but I try. I don't want to have to talk to people about why certain things trigger me or upset me. I know that admitting to being triggered will probably lead up to that. Lead up to having to admit that you have an issue with something, and that's already hard enough to do even when the person admitting to an issue is feeling particularly brave. I think a large mass of people don't realize that admitting to being triggered is also pretty much admitting to having a problem. It cues others in on your personal issues, and when those issues are real and severe, you don't really want others to know about them. You don't want to profess them in a public chat or talk to strangers about them. For most people, it's hard to talk about them at all. On top of that, it really does make a situation about you when you start talking about why something upset you, or, so on. So, why is it easy for some people to talk about being triggered by certain things? It really shouldn't be. It's good to warn trusted others about your triggers. It's also your business if you don't want to talk about it or elaborate on why you feel triggered. But there's a lot of people who abuse that and use triggers for pity points. I understand if someone is making the situation extremely hard for you to deal with, like they keep talking about a certain thing to you and it keeps upsetting you, then yeah, by all means, you should probably tell them to stop or admit that it sort of bothers you or triggers you. But there's a lot of people who overuse that word for everything, and instead of actually trying to deal with something on their own, it's like they're not interested in being a functional human being at all. Then that's where we start having problems. Valid things get tossed around and misused. People grow to hate those things because they start representing increasingly toxic people. It often feels like we're raising an unempathetic society that only emotionally responds to death or severe mental shutdowns, but not to the hint of tears in someone's eyes or the way that someone might anxiously look at the floor. But we're also raising a society of people who think it's alright to act selfish, immature, get upset, or make a situation about themselves and their supposedly real issues, instead of trying to be better, trying to actually keep it together, or finding healthier, less upsetting ways to talk to someone about what's in their head. It sometimes feels like it's a society capable of being empathetic, but it encounters people who selfishly abuse and ruin that empathy. If you want people to be kind and empathetic to others, which is something that you should want unless you're a complete asshat, but you crave attention and you want to abuse the care that you get from other people, just know that you're likely part of the reason why people these days can walk past someone crying on the street and not stop to help. Hi guys.
It's perfect. I would subscribe 10 different times to 10 different accounts. No, actually, more times infinity. If you just started a video, like, and then it ended, and that was all, just 3 seconds of you breathing, I would subscribe so hard. My pussy would be so wet.
Subscribe.